Let's start by talking about the word alien in the title of your book, Alien Thinking. The letters each stand for something, right? Can you explain?
The first thing around alien, it is in fact a metaphor of the little green man, and the point that we describe in the book is that if an alien were to come down to Earth, it would see things with completely fresh eyes. Everything would be new, and so it wouldn't have a lot of the assumptions that we carry with us and biases, and that along the way many of us have lost the ability to do that. We don't see the world anymore as something new. We see it through the lens of our experiences and our assumptions, and so we want to try and regain that sense of what would it be if we were to see things like we see it for the first time. And that would give us a lot more flexibility to innovate and to think creatively. So I think the metaphor of the alien works for the type of message that we want to send, but it also is an acronym. So each of the letters actually stands for something. And maybe here I'll pass over to Cyril Bouquet to elaborate a little bit on what those letters stand for.
Yeah, indeed. So the alien metaphor for us is an acronym that shows how we can adjust our lenses to see the world with fresh eyes. And so if we look at the 5 letters that make up the word alien, right? A, in fact, stands for attention. And we're always bombarded with information, and we need to be able to make sure that we're paying attention to the right things. And so an alien thinker is going to force itself to really see the world from different angles. And by doing that, there's a greater likelihood that he or she would be able to notice different things. And so there's a great example that we describe in the book, where the company Kellogg wanted to develop a new type of food diet for kids. And so initially they talked to everyone. They talked to the parents, they talked to the teachers, they talked to the nutritionist, they talked to the kids themselves, of course, but nothing was working. So they kept hearing the same messages over and over again. And then they started to talk to the janitors at the schools. And what was really interesting is that the janitors knew exactly everything that the kids were eating. They knew exactly what was being traded on the school lunch black market. They could even see what was being thrown away. And so, but nobody had thought about asking them anything before, because I guess they were considered to be kind of anomalies in a process of innovation. But alien thinkers would talk to the janitors because they understand the value of such insight. So that's for A, right? It's for attention. Are we, enriching the way we actually look at the world? And then the second letter, L, stands for levitation, which is about, retreating from the world. We have to stop looking. So it's a little bit like taking time out, if you will, to reflect as they do in sports. So when things don't work out the way you hope, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to pause and think about what you're going to do next. And sometimes about taking time off to recharge your batteries. So we talk about Adrian Ferrar as the famous chef who created El Bulli. And perhaps you know that for 5 years in a row, he's been voted the best restaurant in the world. And he would close his business 6 months every year to essentially recharge his creative approach. So the neuroscience is pretty clear on that. Our brains need to be given the time, the mental space required to reflect and create. So that's for the 2 letters, attention, levitation. And then very quickly, we have 3 more. The I stands for imagination. And I guess there's a lot of things that we could say about that, which involves playing with ideas, a little bit like kids, connecting the dots in new and creative ways. And then the E is about experimentation. So everybody knows and understands the importance of experimentation, but often the way we do it in organizations or in our lives is a little bit wrong. And then finally, the N stands for navigation, which is about finding ways to get our solution accepted without getting shot in the process. So, when we use the metaphor aliens as the good guys in movies, right? Not too often. And it's a little bit the same for people who are very creative. They come up with beautiful ideas that question the status quo, the existing way of doing things, and they face a lot of criticism, a lot of opposition sometimes. And so they have to navigate. They have to learn how to navigate those forces. And so, as you can see, the alien is a metaphor, but it's also a series of lenses that we can use to really increase the chances that we have to see the world in a fresh way.